Tax Abatement Committee. We will hold a public hearing today, Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021 at 6 p.m. via conference or video conference rather. Meeting can be viewed at https://bit.ly/3GNQMY7 or joined by telephone at 301-715-8592 or 312-626-6799 and enter webinar ID 956-1499-1701 and add phone voice only passcode 950-421-476. These items are on file and available in the office of the City Town Clerk, 200 Orange Street, room 202, New Haven. For order, Honorable Jose Crespo, Chair, attest Honorable Michael B. Smart, City Clerk. We're going to review the following items. Item 1, LM-2021-0197, order concerning real property taxes of Dwight Downer on his motor vehicle tax account numbers 616612, 677299, 694007, and 694008. Item number 2, LM-2021-0203, order concerning real property taxes of Vanita Taylor Rose on her motor vehicle tax account number 833951. Item number 3, LM-2021-0225, order concerning real property taxes of Veronica Cassie, aka Veronica Williams, on motor vehicle tax accounts 722932, 740159, 771941, 805477, 853436, 870484, 910141, 927266, 58585, and 823535. If you need a disability-related accommodation, please call 3 business days in advance at 203-946-7651 voice or 203-946-8582 PTY. Public may send public comment to public testimony at newhavencT.gov. PUBLICTESTIMONY@NEWHAVENCT.gov or join the meeting via video conference. Meeting can be viewed at the information provided earlier on. At this time, I would like to ask if each and every one of our members can state your name and the district that you represent, please. Starting with my vice chair, if present. If not, the next person.
Alder Frank Douglas, Ward 2.
Jody Ortiz, Ward 17.
Abby Roth, Ward 7.
Kimberly Edwards, Ward 19.
Hampton Singh, Ward 5.
And I think that's everyone. So I would like to thank the committee for being present this evening. At this time, I'm gonna ask Don if there are any of the 3 individuals that are asking for tax abatement, if they're present, to please join us at this time.
The first one is Mr. Downer. As soon as Al puts him into the meeting.
Okay. As soon as he goes in, please let me know.
Oh. Yep, he's here.
Perfect. So if the party can please state your name and address for the record, and then please let us know, please tell us your story and see how we are exactly what you're looking for with regards to the tax abatement. I'm not sure if they're muted, if they could be unmuted so they can then have the possibility to state their name, address, and their case.
Go ahead, Mr. Downer.
Mr. Donna, that'll be you. If you could just state your name and address for the record, and then let us know your case.
I'm not sure if he can hear you.
Mr. Donna, can you hear us? If you can hear us, shake your head. No audio. Okay. So unfortunately, unless we're able to receive a space,
We can have him call in. Let me see
right.
what the phone number
Can
is.
they call in?
I'm calling him now.
While we're waiting, Mr. Chair, you do have 2 callers that are joining you.
Here now, I can hear something on the
Did you unmute it?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good enough.
Mr. Donna, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Perfect. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. If you could state your name and address for
Hi.
the record, and then state your case.
All right. Hi, my name is Dwight Downer. I'm having some tax issue with vehicle tax, and I was trying to see if I could get some assistance and
Donna,
get.
before you proceed, if you could just give us your address for the record.
My address is 41 Stevens Street, New Haven, Connecticut.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you. Yes, I was trying to seek some assistance. I spoke to Mr. Hayden, and he told me that they have the meeting coming up, and the committee can help me with some assistance on lowering my tax. See if they can help me lower my tax amount so I can get this situation taken care of. You know.
What's going on? Why do you need assistance? Or what's happening with your?
I have back taxes issued a couple years back. I felt in some hardship. I had some issue with getting information from the city to getting it taken care of, and I'm at a point now in my life where I need to get this stuff taken care of. It's serious. I want to get it taken care of. I have some of the money saved up and stuff, but the amount is just so high. I can't manage it. So that's why I was trying to see if I can get some assistance on getting it lowered or something like that. You know.
Great. And before I ask any questions, is there anything else you want to add?
I mean, okay, as we go along, you know.
Okay. How much are you looking to? So Don or one of the committee members, unfortunately, I don't have the numbers in front of me. What is the total amount that you owe currently?
Right now, total back taxes I owe $2,600 with the new, and then I owe also the new taxes that came out recently. So that with the 2,600, but is the 2,600 that I'm trying to get reduced. Those are the old taxes from like 2011, 2012, and like a little bit back. You know.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Go ahead, Don.
He currently owes with interest $6,055.37.
Okay. Without
goes-
interest?
With interest.
Without?
Without.
What? Without?
With. He
Listen to
owes
my
without
feedback.
interest, he owes
Without.
$1,812.18.
Okay. So, Mr. Downer, what
Yes,
are you
sir.
looking to reduce it to? What can you
He-
pay?
I have like I told Mr. Hayden, I have a substantial amount saved up. Like I was working towards, 'cause he told me I need to get some money up, and I have some amount saved up somewhere towards probably like right now I got probably like somewhere towards $2,000 or so. You know, so I've been working on it.
Okay.
I've been dealing with him for the past probably month and a half, and I've been working my hardest.
Excellent. So at this time, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know. At this time, I would like to entertain questions from my committee members.
Okay.
Any questions from the committee? Please raise your hand. Let me get.
Alder Douglas, I have a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Douglas.
All right, Mr. Downer, you said you had approximately $2,000. And what was the total again, please, Don?
Hang on 1 second, please.
So, that 2,000 amount that I came up with, that was after, that's without interest. I think that's why I came up with that 2,000. But I didn't.
Yeah, so give us a second. Don is going to give Alder
We're looking
Douglas.
for total. Okay.
Okay.
Invite.
Okay, I'm sorry about that because I didn't have his current taxes for a car
No
that he
worries.
currently owns. Yeah, his outstanding taxes or the old taxes is $1,812.18. And he also will owe $1,689.50 on his current car. That's for last year, and the new tax due July 1st.
All right, that's the only question I have. I just needed that clear. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Alder Douglas. Anyone else has any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Alderson.
Go ahead, Alderson.
Through you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Hayden, can you give the total of July of this year? I know we see 1,812, and plus there's an additional. What's the total tax would he be owing? That's for Mr. Hayden.
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Don, the total is $3,501.68 without the interest. And I have my colleague Alder Edwards confirming. So the total amount of taxes owed is $3,501.68 without. So this is including both old and new taxes without interest.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is only taxes owed with no interest added to that. Thank you.
Correct. You're welcome. And I'm just going through the screen real quick. Anyone else has any questions? Alder Rock.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Downer. I have a question which probably is for Mr. Hayden, and I just wanted to check this. I think it's just maybe a typo on the materials you sent us when it lists car, because I think there's two old cars that Mr. Downer that you had, but the car, like there's one's an Acura 35RL, one's Acura RL, but I'm guessing they're all the same Acura. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So yes, it was two Acuras in the past, and then there was a Pontiac. I had owed some taxes, and one day just came outside, the car was gone. The city took the vehicle. On the city taking the vehicle, I picked up the phone. Hey, I'm trying to locate my vehicle. I think somebody stole it. They say, no, we took the vehicle because you owe taxes. We need the money before we can tell you any information about the car, where it's at, to get it paid or anything. It just became a very bully situation. They have my vehicle. We need your money, to the point where I never retrieved back that vehicle from the city. That vehicle was impounded and junked by the city. So I was out of a vehicle at the time also behind this whole tax thing. And it was just like a bad experience going back and forth dealing with the city and trying to get information and trying to get some proper help and assistance. You know, I went down there recently and I met a Jamaican lady. I think it's Marcia, and then she introduced me to Mr. Hayden, and it's just been a ball rolling where now I'm trying to just pick it up and get stuff sorted out. You know, I didn't have help like somebody giving me numbers and helping me with all this stuff, sent me with a committee like Mr. Hayden did before in the past. You know, like I said, I got stuff in the right track now, and I'm trying to take care of what I can take care of. And prior to me going down there, I had the money, the July taxes, the January and the July taxes. I had the money for that. I went down there to pay that, and then that's where the box opened up with the old taxes. Well, if you pay this amount, we're just going to put it to the old tax, and it's not going to mean anything because you owe so much with interest and all this stuff, you know. So Mr. Hayden said he will set me up with this committee meeting, and hopefully committee where to see if they can approve, to see if they can lower it or do something for me. You know. So.
Thank you very much for explaining that.
Thank you.
Any further questions from the committee members? Let's go through real quick. Mr. Vice Chair, thank you for joining us. I would like to recognize you at this time. Just want to ask if you have any questions.
No, I've been listening. He said he has $2,000 that he could pay. Is that including the new taxes, or he has $2,000 for the old taxes plus money for the new taxes?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Downer, is the $2,000? Are you going to apply it to the old taxes and then paying the new taxes, or?
I can apply the $2,000 to the old taxes, and I'm working on some money to get to these new taxes. It's kind of like the money I was holding on for the January and the July tax. It just all combined. But if I get a reduced amount, I can try my best to get some more money up to just like take care of everything at once to get it out the way.
Okay, that's my only question. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. So, okay. So, in essence, any further questions from the committee? Seeing none. So, ultimately, you can, go ahead, Don.
Okay, his total with the new taxes is $3,501.75. Any payment he makes will go toward the old taxes, and the new taxes do incur interest. That's not something that you can waive because he still owns the car.
Right. So at this time, we're not gonna worry about the taxes that he owes. We're gonna focus on the ones the current taxes regarding his recent car. So let's look at the old cars, the old taxes, where I believe he's looking to apply the $2,000.
Yeah, his old tax is $1,812 and change.
Got it. Gotcha. So, anything else, Mr. Downer, that you want to add?
Not the moment. I'm just, like I said, just looking to see if I could get the best opportunity here to try to figure this out. You know, I would like to get it squared away on a even balance where I don't have to owe anything later on or anything like that. Just, you know.
Right. So what we're gonna do is you can either stand by and listen, or you can certainly call down tomorrow and we'll let you know what our committee has deliberated.
Yes.
And what the decision of his body was, whether we're gonna waive anything or whether we're gonna forgive anything, we're gonna make adjustments. And then we're certainly gonna take your suggestions and recommendations to lower and see if we can make the adjustment of $2,000, but it is up to the committee to make the decision at the end of this committee. All right.
All right. And like I said, I was telling Mr. Hayden, you know, sir, I lost the whole vehicle behind this whole tax thing at the same time because the city took a very nice brand new car from me, never gave it back to me, turned into a very bully situation. We want ours before you get yours back kind of situation. And in the end, I kind of lost to, and it put me in a very hard place where I kind of just gave up. I definitely gave up. I didn't have any vehicle or anything registered on the road for a long period of time because it was just so frustrating dealing with all of that, and I didn't know how to grab the ball and deal with it. That's also
Yeah.
like now I'm trying to get on the road with it and take care of it.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for your time. We will certainly deliberate at the end of the meeting, and you can certainly call Don tomorrow and find out what was the decision of his body. Now, ultimately, if we were to make an adjustment, we would give you a 3-month period for you to pay that amount one time.
Oh, okay.
If it gets to our next board meeting, you have 3 months from if it gets approved from a board meeting, if it's sent you as unanimous consent, or we can go and let it go through the normal process, which would take a couple of maybe 3 meetings, and then you would make the one-time payment. But however, if you fail to make that one-time payment within 3 months, everything goes back up to 6,000 plus, where you would have to pay everything again in full.
That's understandable. It's more than enough. Not more than enough time, but I've been saving since I've been dealing with Mr. Hayden, and if you guys decide to make that decision to grant me and help me with this, is a substantial time for me to try to get some money up.
Excellent. So we will certainly talk about it at the end of the meeting. And then
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Master.
Okay, just to I know you're aware to make Mr. Downer.
Yes,
remember,
sir.
we only meet once on July.
Only in
So
July?
remember that's for the chair. That's for you,
okay.
Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay.
Right, exactly. So
you're gonna be even more time.
Right.
It'd be
So
3
if it
months from
gets-
the August meeting.
Right. So if we go through the normal channels, it will be 3 months from August, because it has to go from communications to second readings, to then first readings, second readings, and then we can make a decision at that time.
Now, does he? I'm sorry to interrupt you again, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
But does he need to do it quickly? Because if he has the money, we could do it UC for the next meeting, and it'd be fast for him. Because then the current car still accumulating interest too.
Interest, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can certainly make a recommendation. Great point. And,
Yeah.
and
Okay, that's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Mr.
you
Vice
for
Chair.
that point.
Alderaan, I saw your hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and maybe Mr. Downer. I
okay.
just want to make sure.
Okay, then you want to set her up so she can get in the meeting?
Oops.
Hey, Don, we can hear you.
Okay,
Go ahead, Alderaan.
I'll let them know. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to make sure, because it's confusing like that, we meet and then it goes to the full board. And so I just wanted to make sure that was clear to Mr. Downer. Maybe Mr. Hayden described that to you, Mr. Downer, when you spoke to him, but that like after this committee votes, it has to go to the full board. So I just wanted to make sure that wasn't confusing to you.
No, Mr. Hayden had, I think he explained it to me that if you guys make a decision on it, it kind of gives me a little bit of time. He did mention something like that. I think it was like September or something maybe. So.
Yeah, like our committee votes and then it has to go to the full board of all.
Oh, it has to go to somebody else.
Yeah, but they usually follow how this committee votes.
Okay.
So I just it's confusing that there's sort of that other step.
All right. No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderaan. So in layman's terms, this committee will make a decision. We will make that recommendation to the Board of Alders. So we have about 6 alders present in this committee. We're gonna send it to the full board of 30 alders, where it's gonna be voted upon by all of them. And oftentimes than not, whatever we recommend as a committee gets approved by the board.
Okay.
Once approved, then you have 3 months from the date of approval to make that payment one time.
Payment. Okay. All right.
All right. Any further questions from the committee or from Mr. Donner?
No, that's about it. I would say just
Excellent.
looking forward to getting a good decision and see if I could get some help with this and getting it squared away as soon as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Downer. We'll certainly keep you posted as to what the decision is. Before I let you go, I do see my vice chair's hand up. Vice Chair,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have any?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to, I would recommend Ms. Downer to let us send it through UC. That way he could pay it faster since he has some money saved. Plus, he got 3 months from the next meeting. He's not gonna wait until August, then 3 months from then. So if he
Yep.
say he could gather the money, I would recommend for us to do it UC. It'd be faster for him too.
Yeah, let's deliberate at the end. Thank you for that recommendation. So you
Thank
should
you.
make the motion with that addition.
Now that was for Mr. Downer. So
Gotcha. All right, thank
All
you.
right. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And Mr. Hayden, thank you, sir. I appreciate you getting me this information and getting me up here with the board so I can get the opportunity
Yep.
to get this
Just give me a
squared
call
away,
tomorrow.
sir. All right, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Take
You
care.
too.
All right.
Thank you. And Don, do we have anybody for item 2, Mrs. Taylor?
No, we don't. She is not in there. I did talk to her last Thursday to tell her how to get into the meeting, and apparently she is not here.
What about item 3, Mrs. Williams?
Yes, yeah. Well, she thought she had to come downtown, so Mr. Lucas has gotten her into the building, and she's now in the office where she can join the committee meeting.
Great. Excellent. If we can just have her join us. And if she can hear us, if we could just state your name and address for the record and state your case, please.
I think Al's trying to get her set up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I never did this before, huh? We all gotta start somewhere.
Ms. Williams, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
You can state your name and address for the record, please. And then state your case.
My name is Veronica, VERONICA, Denise, DENISE, Cassis, CASSIS.
Thank you, Veronica. We're hearing you a little bit botchy. So if you could try your very best to state your case.
I'm new at this.
No, it's not you, it's the audio. We're having difficulty hearing you clearly.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'll try to talk up louder.
Okay, go ahead. State your case, please.
Say my what?
Your case. How can we help you?
I didn't understand.
So you are currently before the Tax Abatement Committee,
Yes,
and
sir.
you're here to state your case regarding your need for assistance. How can we help
Yes,
you?
yes. Well, I need assistance because I am not working at this present time due to my health condition. In 2015 to I think 2000, maybe a little less, over a little decade ago, where I didn't pay my taxes. And I mean, being a single parent, and I had to pay rent, and so it was like either rent or paying my taxes. And at the present time, I was not well, and I was very ill. And so it was either my taxes or either my rent. And, I was working at the present time, and I had a lot of jobs at the present time because I am a PCA. So by me doing a PCA, I had several different jobs. And I love to work. I love to be out in the field, and I love to help people. But when you get sick and when you weak, you can't do anything for yourself. And so at that present time, and to present day right now, I'm still trying to, take care of myself and going through treatment or whatever I need to do for myself to keep myself well. And hopefully I'll be going back to work soon. I don't know when. And I will take and I will pay my taxes once I start back working. You know, I don't have it right now. You know?
Okay, so ultimately, so you want to pay your taxes.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Don, can you give us a breakdown or let us know how much he owes in taxes with interest and then without interest?
With interest, it's $4,919.68. The tax itself is $1,984.08.
Okay.
Okay.
So Veronica, out of that 18 to 1900, how much could you pay within 3 months if we were to approve an abatement?
She's muted again.
You're muted.
Well, within how many? 3 months? $500.
I'm hearing two voices. I'm sorry.
$500. Within 3 months, I can.
So I'm hearing $500.
$500.
Okay. Let me just have my committee ask any questions. Committee members, any questions? Mr. Vice Chair?
No
Alder
questions for me.
Douglas? Alder Douglas?
No questions.
Alder Edwards?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I found the answer to my question. When I was reading our notes, I was going to ask what our previous proposal was because it shows we did sit this previously and that we were going to forgive the interest, which was $2,935.60. But I did find that on the sheet. So I think my question has been answered. Thank you.
Gotcha. So before, thank you, Alder Edwards. So for point of clarity, before we have made a recommendation to waive the interest.
And how much will I be
No,
paying?
excuse me, that wasn't what I was proposing. I was reading the notes and I saw that we previously forgave the interest and that this was before us. I don't know if I worded it properly.
Nope, that was exactly what I said. That you,
Okay.
For your information, the point of clarity is that we had approved a tax abatement of the interest in the past.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me know.
Mhm.
And thank you for bringing the committee up to par with the previous decision. Alder Rock.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And this may be a question for Mr. Hayden, just following up actually on Alder Edwards. I just want to make sure I understand the process. We did grant forgiving the interest, but is the issue that because 3 months passed and no interest was paid, it now is coming back to us with the base amount plus the interest still being owed? I'm assuming that's what.
It was originally passed by the board as a UC item to forgive the interest. The period of time ran out as of May. So this time it was decided to bring her before the committee.
Okay.
Rather than just extend it because she was, even if we forgave the interest again, she didn't have the money in order to pay the taxes.
Thank you for that clarification.
You all set, Alder Rock? Alder Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, Mr. Chair, Ms. Veronica, we had met and like my colleague said, we had made a decision to waive your interest, and the tax currently owes $1,984.08. And that's the outstanding tax. What is your plan towards making those payments?
Well, how much do I have to pay in all?
1984 with 8 cents. $1,984 with 8 cents.
Say it again?
$1,984.08.
Well, I have to pay for it out of my Social Security, and it's gonna have to be, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have to, because I only get $1,175 a month, and I have to pay my rent, which is $1,075 a month. And so I'm just waiting for my doctor to let me go back to work, because I just had a kidney surgery, and I'm going through a lot right now. And it's kind of hard. I say 3 months, but I don't know what's going to happen within the 3 months, you know?
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Veronica.
I'm under the doctor's care, and so I want to go back to work, but it's just a matter of my treatments that I'm going through.
Thank you, Ms. Veronica. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all for my question.
Thank you, Alder Singh. And Veronica, by no means do you have to elaborate further on your medical conditions. We certainly do not need to know. You can certainly share it if you please, but we don't need to know. We definitely don't want to violate any of your Health Information Portability and Accountability Act privacy law, so we don't need to worry about that too much. We certainly wish that you have a speedy recovery, but ultimately we want to ensure we make the proper decision, given that you were previously granted a tax abatement and you were unable to fulfill your promise to the city. And ultimately, we want to ensure that we're making the best decision, of course, to help you, and of course, in the best interest of our community. So given that you proposed to pay $500, that is what you're expecting to pay within 3 months, correct? If we were to give you, actually, I'm gonna ask Don, are we able to grant a second extension? I know that we have done in the past.
Yes.
And will we be able to do it as a UC, or should we allow it to go through the proper channels to give her even more of an opportunity of an additional month or 2 months, which means instead of 3 months, it'll be like 5 months, in order for her to have an opportunity to recover, as well as hopefully go back to the workforce?
Yeah, if you put it in as UC, she has to have it by the end of September. If you put it as regular, it would have to be, it would be November, the additional month.
So it'll be an additional month. Okay. So, all right. So with that information, ultimately, let me go back to the petitioner, Ms. Veronica. So you stated in the beginning that you can pay $500, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you were to have 5 months at a maximum, would you be able to pay a little more, or is that the maximum you think you can pay?
That's the maximum that I can pay, because I don't know when I'm going back to work.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we thank you for your time. We thank you for letting us know. We will definitely make a deliberation at the end of this meeting, and you can call Don tomorrow to find out what was our decision. Okay.
And God bless you, and thank you very much, every last one of y'all. And I'm sorry I was late. I was downstairs and I didn't know where to come to. And God
No
bless
worries.
you all.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Thank you.
I have a
No
question
worries.
before she leaves.
Go ahead, Mr. Vice Chair.
Before she leaves. Is she still there?
Yes.
Okay, quick question. Do you want to pay this because you have to, you have to pay another car, or you just want to get rid of this bill?
Say it again.
Do you have another car that you want to register, or you currently own another car, or you just want to get rid of this bill? What's the reason that you need this reduce them.
I don't understand.
Okay, do you have another card that you have to pay
I
taxes on?
don't have a car, not right now.
Okay, so you're trying to get rid of this bill so you could get a
Right.
car.
So
Oh,
I
that's
can
my question.
refresh start, not no time soon, but you know,
Okay, so you want to get rid of this issue so you be able to get another car.
yes, I want to be a liable citizen to pay my
Okay.
own bills. And I thank you so much for your help. Very
Okay.
kindly.
All right, thank you. That's my question, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. No further questions, Ms. Veronica. So thank you for your time.
And thank everybody, and God bless you.
Amen.
Mr.
God bless
Chair.
you more.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Don. Go ahead, Don.
apparently she is trying to get the COVID renters assistance,
I'm privy
and-
to that.
and she is unable to get it as long as she has the outstanding taxes.
Right. And that's putting her in between a rock and a hard place.
Right,
Uh,
that's
which
why
I
I figured that's her reason why she was coming to you.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me.
Yeah. So I do understand that. But we as a committee do have an obligation and responsibility to our constituents within the city. And we certainly have to hold people accountable for their taxes. And as the chair of the tax abatement, I certainly would wish that we can do the very best to accommodate and help every constituent. But we definitely have to put onus on them as well, that we can certainly assist, but they have to definitely step up to the plate. She definitely has reasons that would justify assistance or some assistance, partial assistance, if you will. But yeah, thank you for bringing us, thank you for bringing us to our attention, even though I certainly was privy to that. And at this time, I would like to entertain any comment, statement, question, or any testimony from the public at this time. Going once. At this time, I would like to entertain any public testimony. Don, please let me know if there's anyone in the public. Last but not least, I would like to entertain public testimony at this time. Seeing none, hearing none, I entertain a motion to close the public portion of this committee meeting.
Make a
So
motion
moved.
to close.
Second.
The motion has been moved in
Second.
second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please indicate it with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
nays? Any nays? Any abstention? The public portion of this meeting is now closed. I would like to entertain motions pertaining to the three items from that we discussed this evening. Anyone? Mr. Vice Chair?
Well, I only heard two of them, so I'm gonna
Ms.
move.
Edwards.
I'm just gonna move to Mr. Downers, just to have discussion on it.
Second.
So you move, okay, it's been moved in second. Item one, discussion. Alder Edwards? Yeah, Mr. Vice Chair.
No, you say, he was saying that he had some money saved. We're talking about Mr. Downer, right?
That's correct.
Okay. He has some money saved, and he be owning some money. I think it's he was at $1,800. He did say he had $2,000 saved. My motion would be just to help him save a little bit so he could go to apply it to the current car. If I was going to make a motion right now, I make a motion to reduce it to $1,500. That would be my motion for
So
this.
you move the item. Do you want to amend your motion to?
Yeah. I moved it so anybody could make a motion. So I'll make it a motion myself.
So you want to amend? Do you want to amend your motion?
Yeah, I mean, he was straightforward. He said he had the money saved, but I think he owes $1,800 plus. I think it's $1,500 more with the current taxes coming out
Right.
in July. He never said he wouldn't want to pay. He's willing to pay. I mean, we should give him a little hand. I say, I make the motion to lower the old taxes, not the new taxes, to $1,500.
So do you want to also include that we forgive the interest?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, my bad.
So I would
Yeah.
like, or if you would like, I would like to entertain either a friendly amendment or amendment to your motion,
I'll-
if you want
I'll
to
amend
redo
it.
it.
I'll even redo it. I'll motion that we forgive the interest and lower the tax to 1,500 on the old tax.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion on the matter as amended, on the motion as amended.
Well,
Currently,
like I
what we
said,
have on
yeah,
the
yeah.
what we
Go
have
ahead.
on the table is that the gentleman for item 1 owes 1,800 plus for the old taxes. My vice chair was able to make a motion to reduce the item to 1,500 flat and forgive the interest, to allow him an opportunity to use the remainder of what he saved up for the new taxes. Is that correct, Mr. Vice Chair?
That's correct.
Okay. And anything else you want to add? Discussion.
No, I what I had to say, I said it. Like I said, he was straightforward. He looked sincere to me, and he sounded sincere. And like we here to help our constituents, and
Indeed.
also to help the city. So I think
Indeed.
we're not reducing that much. So I guess
Thank you, Mr.
I'll
Vice
do
Chair.
it.
Noted. Alder Rock?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess my only question is the UC, making it UC, do we have to do that do we have to amend a friendly
No,
amendment, or we just do that at the time we vote?
I think once we vote, we can add it to the motion, but we can also
Yeah.
recommend it to be moved as a UC at the end as well.
Yeah, thank you,
Good
Alder
note.
Ross.
That's a good catch, Alder Rock. Alder Edwards?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was going to propose a friendly amendment to the friendly amendment, but it sounds like
Okay.
everybody likes to propose friendly amendment already.
Well, what do you propose? I mean,
So my proposal was that we forgive interest on the old taxes and reduce the 18, 12, 18 to 1,000 flat.
Ooh.
That was my
Okay.
proposal, or a counter
So if-
proposal.
you can certainly try to make a friendly amendment. If you don't get a second, then it'll die on the floor.
Exactly. So that's my friendly amendment to waive interest and instead of 18, 12, 18, reduce the taxes to 1,000.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Do you, Alder, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, rather, how do you feel about that friendly amendment on the friendly amendment?
Yeah, like I said, he sounded sincere to me. I mean, I have no problem. I'll accept it. I have no problem.
What about the rest of the committee? How do you guys feel about it, Alder Douglas?
I will entertain a support for Alder Edwards' submission of her friendly amendment. Yeah, I think that's fair. I was going to put that on the table myself, but I'm glad she did. So thank you. I'll go with her friendly amendment.
You are all, I guess we're all in sync, because I think many of us are thinking that same way. Alder Singh,
I'm in favor of all the Edwards proposal, so I'm in favor of that. Forgive the interest and pay $1,000 in taxes.
Alder Ortiz. Thank you, Alder Singh.
Yes, I'm in agreement with Alder Edwards.
Alder Ross. Thank you, Alder Ortiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, no, I think as the vice chair said, he was very earnest. I think he's trying to get himself back in sync, and just this will make it easier for him to pay his new taxes as well, which he seems eager to do. And in the scheme of things, it's not that much money for the city, but for him, it seems like it will have a very helpful impact. So I support it. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you all for your statements. I certainly believe each and every one of us is in sync. As stated, we definitely want to help our constituents, hold them accountable, but help them out as well. So I'm in agreement, seeing that we have no further comments. At this moment, I would like to entertain anyone in favor of approving the friendly amendments that were made that led to the friendly amendments of approving Mr. Downer for $1,000 for his taxes, which is going to be reduced to $1,000, and forgiving the interest. Please indicate it with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any
Mr. Chair,
nays?
do we need to add the
You
UC
see.
again?
Yeah, you see.
And any abstention? The ayes have it. So the matter did get approved. And then what we're going to do is, based on all the recommendation, and Mr. Vice Chair and myself will make it an UC item at the end as well. Thank you, Alder Ross. Any further motions? We've got 2 items left. Item 2, the person did not arrive. Do we want to make anything about that one? We just skip them over, give them an opportunity.
Number 2 is not here, so my recommendation is to give an opportunity to come back to the committee.
Don, how many times has she been invited or he be invited to the committee? Is this the second time? Because my recollection is correct.
This is probably the second time, but it's only the first time that I have definitely talked to her, been able to get a hold of her to tell her of the meeting.
Okay.
Gotcha. So we will certainly entertain an opportunity to have her come to us during the 3rd time next month. If not, we will certainly make a recommendation to move to withdraw or leave to withdraw. So let us skip over that one. Let's give another opportunity to come to us. And do I entertain any other motion for item 3?
Item 3, Mr. Chair, can we have a discussion on this item?
We can have a discussion once I hear a motion.
I can make a motion.
Go ahead, Alder Edwards.
I make a motion on item 3 that we forgive interest and that we reduce the taxes from the $1,984 and change to $992.04.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion. Alder Edwards, do you want to add further comments to your motion?
I did not lower my hand, but if you would like me to elaborate, I can.
Please do. As the motion, as you move the motion, I definitely want to entertain some of your arguments for this particular motion.
So my mindset is clearly that I would like to help individuals, which I always try to do. I try to do it in a fair and equitable way. And I pride myself on taking everything into consideration. And I just really think that's fair. So that is why I propose said amount.
Thank you, Alder Edwards. Alder, I believe I saw Alder Singh, who had an opportunity, who raised his hand or had wanted to discuss this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm in favor with Alder Edwards' recommendation.
Anything further? Anything further you want to add? Because I know you want to discuss this matter.
I think we deliberately fairly in this matter. Clearly, Ms. Veronica needs some help in financial situation and health-wise. So I do support Alder Edwards' recommendation in that. Thank you.
Excellent. Alder, Mr. Vice Chair.
Yeah, it sounds fair, but the only thing that I'm thinking about that what if she can't be able to pay that amount, even if we give her the extra month? I mean, what's going to happen to that thing that's what Don said about the COVID-19 benefits that she was trying to get? Will she lose that if she cannot pay it on time?
I don't think she has it. I don't think she has been giving it. She has been provided with it. She's applying for it, but I believe there's a language that she's unable to qualify if there's outstanding taxes. Unfortunately, that's not our fault. Unfortunately,
no, I understand. Yeah.
So she won't lose it. She just needs to be able to, she'll have an additional month. She'll either have 3 months or 5 months for her to make the payments.
Okay, so the recommendation is 900. Is that correct?
Alder Edwards?
It was $992.04.
All right. I'm done. Yeah.
Alder Roth?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I have one question, then a comment. My question, I just want to make sure I understand the 3 to 5 months. Is that because it would have a first reading in July, a second reading in August, and then there's 3 months tacked onto that that she has to pay?
I believe it will be a communication, then a first reading, then a second reading. Then it'll be 3 months from the second reading. Don, correct me if I'm incorrect.
It would be 3 months from the August meeting, which would be August, September, October, November.
If we were to move this item favorably through the proper channels, it'll be presented to the Board of Alders in the July meeting as a communication piece.
No, it
Then
goes in
it
as a
would-
first reading,
First reading? Okay.
first reading.
Thanks for that. I guess my two thoughts then, I guess one, I do have, she had 3 months to pay and she didn't pay. She said she can only pay $500. Like hopefully within the amount of time that she'd have to pay, she would be healthy enough to get a job and be able to pay. I guess with the COVID application, would kind of she have that hindrance of owing taxes until, I guess, would it go away? It wouldn't go away until she actually paid. I guess at what point would she be eligible? So it kind of, is there any benefit to having her pay sooner? Because but I don't know that she can pay 900 sooner, but if it has to wait another month, is she not eligible for that application because it's dragging on longer that we haven't approved the tax reduction? I probably did not make sense in what I just said.
You made perfect sense. What I can tell you is this: even if we were to move it as a UC item, she will not be able to make any payments until after July. So that would mean that she will still have another month and a half before she can make any payment, because we're we're late. So let's say a month and a week. Even if so clearly she stated that she wants to pay. So we're going to give her that opportunity to pay. And based on her request to make payments to the city, we can make the recommendation for UC, which the soonest possible time that she can pay would be after the July meeting. Unfortunately, we can't expedite it further than that.
Yeah, I guess then it's weighing kind of if her real motivation is to not owe that tax so she can, get her application accepted, versus if she really only can pay $500, like giving more time increases the likelihood she'll have more money to pay. But at the same time, it doesn't help her with this application. So I guess I'm not sure where I land on that.
At this time, I'm going to say that the information at this time, what I'm going to say is Don provided us additional information on behalf of the person. Unfortunately, she didn't make that argument in this particular committee meeting. She never mentioned the application. She never mentioned that she needed to submit this sooner rather than later. This was information that we received after the fact. So at this point in time, I'm not weighing in this particular case, given that was not what she asked. I gave her an opportunity. The committee gave her an opportunity. What is your case? What can we do? What can we help? Unfortunately, we can certainly weigh that in, but we definitely want to do our due diligence as well.
Mr. Chair, just a point of clarification.
Yes.
The first reading is July meeting, July 6th, which is in approximately 2 weeks.
Okay. So she has within 2 weeks to be able to make the payment if we were to approve it.
If you approved it, it'd be after this, after the, if you went UC, it'd be the 7th that she'd be able to make the payment, because she has to have the paperwork from us, that the board's order in order to go down to the tax office for them to forgive whatever you've decided to
Okay.
forgive.
Okay. Thank you, Don, for that point of clarity. Any further discussion? Any further comments, questions, suggestions?
So,
I'm just going, Alder,
oh, Douglas, I'm sorry. I can't raise my hand in the queue here.
that's fine.
Just given the conversation that all the Rolf just had and her comments, I'm just wondering if we could just back up and just give this woman some help, because it does seem like she's in dire straits. She's not going to be able to pay this money. Let's face it, she tried before. She's not going to be able to pay it, and it's going to hinder her from moving forward if she doesn't get this help with this COVID thing. It's just,
Would you like to make a friendly amendment?
I sure would.
Go ahead, Mr.
That friendly amendment
Douglas.
is, I wish that the committee would take into consideration her situation, given the fact that in the past she's attempted, but she's not having any luck, and she's just going to keep going around in circles. If we could just forgive all that she owes, move forward, and give this woman a chance, another chance. Is that good enough?
If there's a second, we can entertain it. If not, it's going to die on the floor. I don't hear a second. So unfortunately, that motion cannot be moved at this time. And I'm unable to approve it. Do I see Alder Edwards' hand up? Alder Edwards. Alder Edwards?
I'm okay. I thought we were gonna have discussion. So
Nope.
I'll wait until discussion. Sorry.
No discussion. Alder Roth. I saw your hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I'd be curious if people would think lowering it to $500 makes sense if she says she can pay $500.
That makes sense to me. Would you like to make a friendly amendment?
I guess I'd want to know if people truly thought that's all she can pay. Or I'm
Yep,
curious
so-
why Alder Edwards, if Alder Edwards thinks she actually can pay more, perhaps because she put a higher amount. It's hard to know.
Mr. Vice Chair? Mr. Vice Chair, can you?
Yeah, I would,
Before you continue, I'm gonna pass over the meeting to you. My phone is about to die. So you're now running the meeting until I come back.
okay. Okay, so sorry you guys can't see me. Hopefully you can hear me. Everyone can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Alder Roth, you do or you don't want to make that friendly amendment?
Do I have a discussion without an amendment? I guess.
I don't think so. Yeah, because we already had an amendment, but you know,
Okay,
and we.
Then I'll make the friendly amendment to consider. I guess I'd want to pair lowering it to 500 with doing it UC to enable her to be eligible as of July 7th for the COVID program.
Do I hear a second to that one? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Dan. Okay, I was gonna say
Second.
that, but yeah. All right, discussion. I don't see nobody. You know, I can't see nobody. So if you need to say something, just jump in.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I'll just,
Yeah.
I guess I would be curious. You know, it was very hard to hear her, actually, to be honest, and hard to follow everything just because of the audio being bad. You know, I guess I am interested that Alder Edwards picked the higher number. And so
Yeah.
I'm curious kind of on the thinking on that, if it's just that it seemed like she actually can pay more.
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you up, Alder Roth. I was supposed to ask Alder Edwards if she accepts that friendly amendment. I'm sorry about that.
Sorry.
Alder Edwards, do you accept that friendly amendment? Alder Edwards, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Do you accept that friendly amendment?
I will accept the friendly amendment.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I should have asked you before, but
Mr. Vice Chair, I'm
oh, go
back.
ahead. Okay, so it was, so there was a friendly amendment made by Alder Roth,
Okay,
Alder Edwards, it was seconded by Alder Douglas. Alder Edwards accepted the amendment to lower it to $500, and we're on discussion right now.
got it. Perfect. Thank you. So, Alder Roth was the person that made the friendly amendment, accepted by Alder Edwards. Alder Roth, would you like to add additional comments?
Yeah, I mean, just, based on the fact that she had not paid any of the money in the past 3 months, to me, again, it was hard to hear because of the audio, but it seemed as if she really is struggling and isn't able to pay. And I'm concerned that if it's higher, like, as I think it was Alder Douglas who said, like, we're just going to be back where we are. And given that it sounds like to get housing sort of needs to apply to this program, I worry someone with health problems, like suddenly not having housing, like that's just not a good situation. And it's not that much money for the city in the scheme of things. So it seems like a humane approach to take in my view.
Thank you, Alder Roth. Alder Edwards.
Okay, I'll give my input on discussion. I chose a higher amount because I thought it was a fair amount. And I do have empathy as far as us people having struggles. I'm really empathetic. However, I don't want to set a precedence for people that are applying for other things to come here and think we're just going to forgive everything and everything's going to be waived. So my thought process was chopping most of it off, almost half of it or most of it, and give an opportunity to get some payments in, because previously we only forgave the interest. So she still owed 1,900 and change. That is why my proposal was for what the proposal was for, in an effort to still help.
And Alder Edwards, if I may add, I think you reduced to more than 50%, because that is, even if it's a little bit more than 50%, that's another $100 or more that you reduced. I certainly see your point, and I am in agreement that we can't just set a precedence for folks to think that they can just have everything waived by coming here because they can't get something else elsewhere. Unfortunately, we do have to put onus on every constituent of ours. If you look at us as elected officials, none of us qualify for any tax abatement, and we just bite the bullet. We have to ensure that we are up to date with our taxes. So we also live what we preach. We pay our taxes in full, and if there's any interest that needs to be paid, we have to pay them. We do not give them waived. We do not give them forgiven. We do have our cars and our vehicles towed. And it doesn't matter if you're an elected official or not. This applies to everyone in the city of New Haven. I myself, as an elected official, once upon a time had my vehicle towed, so I do understand the need to ensure we're up to date. But yeah, thank you, Alder Edwards. Any further?
Yeah, can I say something? I can hear you. Yes,
Yes,
you hear
go
me?
ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a question for for Don. Don, do we know when she applied for this? Because if she came before us and we through UC and she couldn't pay before, was the application back then? Because if it wasn't back then, we're not doing it because she doesn't qualify. She couldn't pay even before the application was done. Am I correct?
I'm not sure when she initially applied. I'm going by an article that was in the New Haven Independent a couple weeks ago.
Okay. But I don't know, hopefully my colleagues would know where I'm going with this, because it's not that she came before and she had applied for that. She couldn't pay before because she had the money. Now she's trying to get help everywhere she can. And this, something else. If she had applied before, when it went through UC, I could understand the argument about setting a precedent. But if she couldn't just pay before, and she's trying to get help everywhere she can, which any of us will do, if we're in that situation, we'll go to every place we get help from.
Mr. Vice
And
Chair,
that-
just a
yeah,
point, of
yeah.
clarification.
Yeah.
When she had applied before, we as a committee decided to waive the interest that's what she had requested.
Yeah.
And we waived the entire interest, and she said that she was going to pay the amount that she owed over the taxes.
No,
Just
I
a point
get
of
that.
clarity.
No, I get that, and I knew that. That's my question. Because if she said she could pay before, all of a sudden she came into hardship, and she couldn't pay, and the application was not on back then. So why we mixing the two? Why we saying she couldn't pay before, and now she can't pay it because she's looking for the application? I mean, I don't see why we're mixing the two together. Because if I was in that situation, I would get help everywhere I could. Doesn't mean that I'm doing it because I want the tax abatement because I need help. It's because I want the help. So I mean, I think we wrong by saying that she's won the tax abatement to get the COVID relief. I mean, we shouldn't be saying things like that, because if she's really struggling, I mean, any of us, we struggle, we look for help everywhere we can. So we shouldn't mix one with the other. We should, that's my point of view.
I completely agree. That is why I made my comment earlier where she never stated that to us in our committee meeting. Therefore, I'm not utilizing that particular that she's looking for any additional things elsewhere as a point to. We certainly want to weigh in her need. We definitely want to ensure that we weigh in her need, but that wasn't the argument that she made before us today, asking for relief due to applying to COVID or other assistance elsewhere. Alder Edwards.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Chair, can I
Mr.
put,
Chair.
before you start, can I put in just a clarification?
Yep.
This is the first time she has come before the committee. The original UC is they come in the office, they put in a request, say they could pay the taxes, but not the interest, and that's what we put. And then we send it to as a tax abatement UC item each month. So this is the first time she's actually come before the committee.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you. Alder Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to point out, I'm not mixing the two. As far as I'm concerned, when I made the statement about setting the precedents, I stand by that statement. And I too would go anywhere I could to get help if I needed assistance. I stated that because it is now known, and some people knew it from reading an article. It's just known that that is an application that has been put in process. And I personally propose what I propose, not because she did that, because she has that application, but I proposed it because I saw where we forgave interest and still did the 1984 plus change. So I figured, even hearing her story, I would slash the taxes. We don't always, as a committee, give people what their actual ask is, just period. So that was why I proposed what I proposed, but I do want to make sure when I am voting for something and there's a possible conflict, I'm not saying it is a conflict, but just because I knew that after the fact, I'm just making sure I don't open the floodgate when I vote or propose something, because I wouldn't want people to start thinking, okay, Kim's gonna put an application in, so she can put an application in for this, so I can get an application in for that. And there's nothing wrong with getting help. I just want to make sure that I'm voting properly and I was, proposing what I thought was valid.
Thank you, Alder Edwards, and I completely agree. I'm 100% in agreement. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, Alder Singh.
Alder Singh. Yes, go
We're
ahead.
still in discussion.
Yes, of course.
In the past, sitting in this committee, people had came to us, but they had bring financial document to us showing the hardship and so forth. So we had a look at their financial statement and we could have used that to make, a decision. But this case, we didn't have any financial statement or document. We just had a statement, verbal statement. So documents, proof to show us in the committee would definitely help us. That's
Yeah, I correct, Alder saying. We like to have information handy where we can see documents stating either some sort of proof, but definitely on the previous item, we didn't have any information. We did see the accounts, but sometimes we do ask for like, oh, if you need if your car was towed, let me get your Carfax. Absolutely. This individual stated that for the last decade or so, she has been unemployed or has been through hardships or ailments or currently surgery or recovering from surgery and waiting for a doctor's approval or clearance to get back to work, etc. So that is something that if we look at that certainly we want to weigh that in. And we are weighing that in right now during this discussion. And I'm looking at both what Alder Edwards and Alder Roth recommended, but I also stand in agreement with Alder Edwards that we definitely want to ensure that we're not setting a precedence where we're just simply getting people cleared just so that they can, we want to ensure we're doing it because they need the assistance. We want to ensure that we're doing it because of the fact that they're either too poor to pay, they qualify because they have I don't know, wrong info, maybe the account was incorrect, whatever. But we definitely want to ensure that we're helping everyone as best as we can.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yes, Alder saying. Any further discussion? And again, this is a friendly amendment to Alder Edwards' motion regarding the $990 something that was reduced to $500. And again, if it does not get approved once we vote today, we have to recommend another motion. Seeing that there's no more discussion,
Mr.
Alder
Chair?
Ortiz or any? Yes, Alder Roth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, if people are concerned that the friendly amendment, like there wasn't enough documentation to support that she can't really pay, or that it sets a precedent, I can withdraw it. I'm not, okay.
No, ultimately, what we can do is we can vote, and if you have the votes, it carries. If you don't have the votes, it fails, and we just start again from square one. So hearing no more discussion, I'm going through the screens. I don't see any hands.
My hand
All
is
in
up, Mr.
favor?
Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alder Roth. Alder Edwards.
I'll make it brief. I was going to tell Alder Roth, no, do not take your amendment off the table. Do not do that.
Right. This is why we have discussion.
Okay. This was a discussion. I thought it was a great discussion.
Right.
Everybody gave great input. Do not change it. It's okay. We don't always have documentation. Typically, we have documentation for the people that are granted just, the tax exemptions on their home. So I'm not looking for anybody to do anything different than we normally do. I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Alder Edwards. And again, I agree. Alder Roth, definitely keep your friendly amendment. I think it's appropriate. And the discussion is certainly what we want. This is why we're here as a committee to jump off ideas from one another and have a snowball effect to see what makes sense. And ultimately, if it makes sense, we'll continue the discussion. And then ultimately, once we vote, we will see if it carries or not. It's certainly part of the process. And you are certainly within your right to make those recommendations and friendly amendments. And the fact that Alder Edwards agreed to that friendly amendment also speaks that she's also contemplating accepting that particular friendly amendment. So thank you. Seeing no, let me just go one more time. I don't see any hands up, any hands up here, any hands up here, nobody here. Seeing that there's no more discussion, I do apologize. I'm operating through my phone. I can only see 4 people at a time. All in favor to approve the friendly amendment or the all in favor to approve the Mr. Vice Chair? Thank you. All in favor to approve.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to my daughter. I'm sorry. Sorry about
Tell
that.
Tell Jasmine we say hello. All
No,
in
it's
favor.
Chavez, it's worried.
All in favor to approve the motion of waiving the interests and approving the friendly amendment of $500 for the third item, please indicate it with an eye.
Aye.
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 Aye. Sorry, I'm late.
Any nays? Any abstention? The item passes. Thank you, everyone. So items 1 and 2 are going to be passed to the Board of Alders favorably with reductions of the taxes, and we're waiving the entire interests on the old for the first item, not the new, and then everything for the third item. And of course, the second item is going to come back to us for a third opportunity to try to hear her case. At this time, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Right, Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair, how about you see?
thank
Yes.
you. That's what I was going to ask.
Oh, I'm gonna take the recommendation of the vice chair, or the Edwards, or the Roth, and everyone in this committee to move both items as you see,
Perfect. Yes, sir.
or to be able to send them to the board as you see items. Thank you all. I really appreciate each and every one of your work. Thank you for staying on top of it. And at this point, motion to adjourn is so appropriate.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please indicate it with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays, any abstention? The ayes have it. God bless you. Be well, be safe. And thank you
God
for
bless,
the awesome
guys.
job, everyone.
Yes.
Stay safe, guys.
Colleagues.
God bless you all.
Don. Thank you, Don.